And we're going to mute everyone and then we'll ask questions afterwards. So you can type in your questions or hold off on, because we love when you talk. I like when you talk better than typing, but that's my 2 cents. So, okay, so let me start sharing my screen here. Okay, gotta move this bar. I'm getting there. Okay. Okay. So I'm on the wrong screen though. I was looking at something. Okay, here we are. Okay, so, and some of you may have heard some of this. We're going to just kind of go over it again, but we also have a demo that Brittany's going to do, and it has some extra little things about being automatic and forms and stuff, some cool things that you're going to learn. So, but I'm going to kind of go over Scheduler because some of this might be new for you guys. So, Scheduler is a tool. It's one tool. It keeps booking simple automatic follow-ups, and that is what Adam and his team created in VipeCloud called Scheduler, just making it easier, just that those steps are easier. Okay. Okay, let me move this because this is where I'm getting myself in trouble. I'm gonna move you guys down. There we go. Okay. So what is Scheduler? It is a built-in booking tool inside of VipeCloud. Okay, so if you have email, you do have to have the email system in order for this to happen. It lists your customers and unit members booked directly from your calendar. So a lot of you are familiar with Calendly. This is simpler, and we're told that hands down it is simpler. It eliminates the back and forth, and it works right within VipeCloud. Okay, these bars keep getting VipeCloud automations, and that's what we're going to show you how to make it work with automations so that follow-up part is easy and that booking and the reminders go out without you having to remember. So, okay, why use Scheduler? It saves you time. Again, it makes you look polished and professional. It reduces missed appointments because of the automations that you can have set up. It helps you book then more consistently. And this is the main thing. It connects your marketing to your booking to your follow-up all in one system. So, because if you have a booking tool somewhere else, but then you have to have follow-ups, then you have it in 2 different platforms. This is all in one platform, you guys, okay? So, we're going to show you how that works. So, it's perfect for all kinds of sessions like skincare consults, makeup minis, virtual parties, career chats, customer check-ins, team coaching. So what you can do with this is you can build a calendar for each one, or you can have one calendar and you can make it work. So one calendar may be easiest starting out, not gonna lie. But then when you get more advanced, you could have one for like your unit and one for parties and one for facials, one for career chats, like however you want to do it. Like you can have it as organized as you want, or maybe just one is just fine for you too. But it's gonna work with your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar. Those are the 2 calendars it'll work with, okay? And so Scheduler, how it's included in your email, texting and email, but you can't just have texting, you do have to have email. And I'm going to briefly share with you because some of you may or may not be familiar with our text and email, even though we're really known well for it. I'm just going to put it out there just as a refresher. I say it's the powerhouse of communication. Like it's got muscle. It's all in one place and it does so much for you. And that's what we've really tried to create with Adam and his team. They listen to us, which we listen to you guys. And so that's where we just feel like so much is right within VipeCloud. And that's why we call it powerhouse of communication. So we sync your in touch contacts daily, your customers and your unit, and then they go into the appropriate list. We do that every day. We send messages for you, or you can send them yourself. You can edit things that we've scheduled, content, use templates, create your own. And it, again, saves you time. It makes you look professional. And also, you can set up groups. You can set up your own automations, keyword triggers, mass text, drip campaigns. And it's a user-friendly app for following up. So when somebody texts you back, it's right on your phone. You don't have to go, you text them from your app, but it will pop up as a notification. So you don't have to log into things, and you'll know that you have a text. You'll get a notification. So, and it's so easy to do from there. You don't have to hold down a button or anything like that. It is amazing how easy they've made it, and they just keep making it better. And so with Pink Success, your email game is next level because of these really cool built-in tools. Scheduler, My Pink Card, which we just had a webinar on last Thursday. Forms, and then we're going to talk a little about these today. For leads, feedbacks, quizzes, you can use them for writing. It's like a beauty profile. Also involved in your email is Pink Perks, and that's our loyalty program. And that's kind of geared towards career chats. And you send a link out to someone, they watch a video, they fill out the survey form, and it's called a layer. I think everyone knows that part. It's layering for you. And so you find out what their interest level is, and you follow up with them. But if they're not interested, they go into what's called My Pink Perks or Pink Perks. And they get perks every month that are around 20 to 25% of a savings for them. But we do bundles. We don't do discounts, but we do bundles, and we make them really fun and like kind of a theme. A lot of times everybody loves a theme, so that's kind of what we do on those. So we make them fun. But anyway, so then it keeps them trying new products and just keeps you in front of them. Twice a month, an email goes out to them. Also, we have tags. So, and basically it's like a CRM. It is a CRM. VipeCloud is a CRM. You can get as in-depth as you want, or let us do all of it. So most people let us do all of it, but there's some that are advanced, and they'll do tags, group contacts by maybe product love, hostess level, maybe certain products they like. They like the skincare, they like clear proof, or their fragrance, or they can be multiple. You can tag them multiple ways. And this just allows you maybe to send certain emails, or if you're having a certain event for that type of product, you want to make sure they get it. So filters, those are quick messages that go to the right people. So you might have people in Maryland in your unit group, and you just want this email or text to go to your Maryland group. That's called a filter, and it's really easy to do. And then we have video messages, which are amazing, that you just video right on your computer or your phone, and you drop it into an email. You don't have to download it to YouTube or make it complicated or anything like that. So that's a little about the texting and email. Then you got the My Pink Card real quick. I just want to touch base, and if you want did we put it? I don't know if we put it up on our website, but we did send it out to those who registered last Thursday. But if you want it, let us know. The webinar recording. I forgot to say that part. If you want the recording, we'll send that to you. But when somebody opens up your pink card, we call it My Pink Card, they instantly see how to connect with you and what you want them to see. You can customize this. It is amazing. I think we have 12 choices, but they're going to see your contact info, your shopping link, and your booking link. So that's where you do scheduler. If you don't do scheduler, you can do any booking link you want, but that's where I would plug in scheduler. Any social media, your pink story, which is also like your iStory, and the links are limitless, but it's really clean, professional, and easy. And we'll get more into that later if you have questions, but I just wanted to kind of say scheduler definitely goes in with this. And it goes in with LMS, okay? And that's our lead management system. And that lead management basically takes the stress out of managing your leads. And this is good for both directors and consultants. And we address different types of leads. We have the bridal category, the quarterly glam, which is for your VIP, and then client connections, which are vendor events, warm chats, long lost customers, untouched leads from years ago. We have the right wording for it. So, and it's just an automated system that sends out 7 messages, automated messages. So once they're in the system, you don't have to do anything over the course of 30 days. And it's personalized with your information, has your picture, the text has your picture, the landing page has your picture, your booking link. And so that's why we're talking about this, your shop link. See kind of at the bottom right here, how it shows the picture. Now it's redoing itself, but it goes also to your website. But see how your picture is at the top and the bottom. Each message links to fun, engaging landing pages that offers the opportunity to book or buy, but is still applicable even if they already have booked with you. So they're getting great content and they're like, ooh, I can't wait to get more. Maybe it's on contouring and highlighting, the AI foundation finder, just different things that they're going to be engaged with. And it's asking, if you're interested, book with, if you want to find out more about the foundation, book with me. So it's always good. And they're going to learn new things, even if they've already booked with you. They can book for another reason, or you can follow up with them. And it's just ongoing content for months later after the fun tips and follow up. So they even get it months later. And the key is, like I said at the beginning, the key is you still want to have that personal follow-up, but you are warm to them and familiar. So that's the beauty of LMS. And people really love it because you're not just asking for a booking, you're giving them content and then they want to book with you because you look professional. You know what you're talking about. Like, I want to book with that lady. So anyway, so that's a little about like how Scheduler can fit into so many things right in VipeCloud. I told you it's like powerhouse. It is your CRM and everything can be automated. So a simple 3-step overview. You set your availability, you share your link, and they pick a time and confirmations are sent out automatically. That is one confirmation is already set up for you, or is it two? Is there thank you for confirming, and then we have the second one?
Yeah, we have a thank you for booking your appointment one, and then we have one that's scheduled to go out, I think, an hour before their appointment as a reminder.
Which can all be edited. That's just what we've set up for you. But you can do 24 hours, or you can do 24 hours and 1 hour. Like it's pretty simple. We have templates and ready for you. So this is where I'm gonna let Brittany take it over and give you a demo.
Yes.
Do you want me to stop sharing? You already got it. Okay.
I think I got it. I think it switched over.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so let's kind of walk through the steps for your scheduler. You're going to come to VipeCloud here, and you're going to want to do this on a desktop. You cannot set up a scheduler within the app. So be sure to be on a desktop, or you can do it on a tablet if you only have a tablet, but on your computer, not within the app. And on the left-hand side, you're going to go ahead and click on the lightning bolt. This is our automation category. So we're going to click on there. And then under lead capture, you'll see schedulers. It has a little calendar icon next to it. We're going to go ahead and click that. Now, when you come here, if you haven't set up anything yet, your first step is going to be connecting your calendar. And I'm not going to walk through the steps of how to do that today, but if you go to our website, pinksuccess.net, and you go to training, text and email, VipeCloud text and email. At the very top of this, we have schedulers. And right here is link your Google Calendar to scheduler. And this video will walk you through how to do that. It's pretty simple to connect it, but if you want a video how to, you can watch this one to really see how to connect your calendar. Now, once you have your calendar connected, then you can come back here to scheduler and you can start creating one. You'll see that we've got 2 already that we've done before. And so we're going to go ahead and on the right-hand side, we have create scheduler. We're going to click that button and you get 2 options, individual or group. This is really great because this means that you can either create an event where you only have like one hostess. Doesn't mean only one person's coming. Maybe she's booking a party, right? But you only have one hostess. That's going to be your individual appointments. Then you have your group appointments. This is if you were doing like a pop-up event where you have essentially multiple hostesses coming at the same time, an open house or a pop-up or a beauty bar, things like that, where you have lots of different people coming. That's where you would want to do a group one. Okay, for this one, we're going to go ahead and do individual. And then it's going to open up this where you're going to give some information. Your top one is your event name. And this is what people will see when they click on the scheduler. So you want to make sure it makes sense to whoever's seeing it, right? So you could do meetings with and then put your name if you want to use this kind of as a generic booking link. They're booking an appointment with you, right? And it just has your availability. For this one, I'm going to do pink pop-ups.
I'm gonna ask,
as
can
the event.
everyone see the screen okay? Thumbs up? Okay,
Looks like it. Okay, perfect. Um, okay, so
sorry.
she's on her phone. Gotcha.
Yes, I was trying to
Yeah.
answer that, but I'm like, I'm just gonna, okay.
Okay, if you're on your phone, you might have to swipe over. Sometimes it just shows you, like, if you're just seeing my image, try swiping to the right or the left, and you might see the share screen instead of the people images. So hopefully you're able to see that. Okay, so this is where you're going to name your event. And then under label, this is if you wanted something internally as a reference. This is something only you would see. Okay, so maybe you have it named as like meetings with your name, but this booking link is actually just like a consultant booking page, right? Then you could label it as that. Your consultants, the people who are going to the booking page, aren't going to see this information. It's just for you to be able to have as your reference. You can also just leave it blank, which is what I'm going to do for this example. Next, we have our scheduler URL. And so this is what you would have after to kind of customize that URL. And so I'm going to do pink pop-up as our scheduler URL.
Isn't that
You're
so
going to
cool?
choose,
I
right? I
love
love that you
it.
can customize it. It really makes it a lot more personable for when people are seeing it. And then your duration, you're going to choose your time frame, right? So we'll do 30 minutes, however long your appointment is. And then this is where you want to have that calendar because VibeCloud is going to look at the calendar that you have connected for any conflicting appointments so that you're not double booked. Right. So that if you have something going on in your personal life on a day that normally you would do a pink pop-up, it'll block out that time frame. So that's why connecting the calendar is really important. And so we're just going to go ahead and you would select the calendar that you would like. So for this one, we'll just leave it as VibeCloud, but you would select your calendar. Now with conferencing, if you're doing this meeting virtually, this is where you're going to choose like Zoom, and then you would put the meeting URL here. Okay, this needs to be a recurring meeting. So such as your personal meeting room, or you can create a recurring meeting every week on a specific day. If maybe you only do pink pop-ups on Saturdays, and it's a virtual, you could have a recurring meeting every Saturday in your Zoom, and you would want to put that link in there. So it just can't do a different one for every single appointment. So you want to make sure it's either recurring or your personal meeting room. And you would put that there for that. If this is an in-person event, you're just going to select none for the conferencing. Okay, you could also do over the phone if it's a phone appointment. Now, the description part is a little bit different. This is going to go in the email that they get for the confirmation, right? So they're not currently going to see this on the page when they're booking, but they're going to see it afterwards. So you want to make sure your language reflects that, right? So we could just say like, so excited to see you at my pink pop-up. You could include the like location details in here if it's in person, right? Different things that they need to know. Also, um, we had mentioned before, and we're going to go over how to create an automation, but you can also enter links here, right? So if you wanted to say, like, be sure to fill out your um, beauty profile for your pop-up. And then you can actually take a link and you can put the link in there for them to see. So then they'll get that in the reminder email, in the initial email, etc. So if you're wanting them to fill out something, you can also put it in the description. Okay, so just some kind of extra ways. The great part about Scheduler is there's a lot you can customize and a lot of information that you can put in there, which can then make it confusing sometimes. So if you're just wanting to keep it really basic, just put a so excited to see you with either the location details, right? If you're wanting them to fill out something and get a little more detailed, you can put that information in there is where we're going. Now, once you've kind of got this information in here, we're going to go ahead and click create and continue editing, and it's going to open it up into the scheduling tab. Now, if you created something in that description, you want to change it, you can always click on details on this, and this is where you can change any of that information, right? So maybe when you were creating it originally, you didn't have the Zoom link, you can come back by later and add that at a different time. Okay. So now we're on to the scheduling. You want to go ahead and put your information in here. The great part is that you can set how many days into the future you want people to be able to book. Maybe you only want them to be able to book 2 weeks in advance instead of a full month in advance, right? You can also select a specific date range. So this was really fun. We worked with some over just recently. She was having like a Valentine's Day pop-up event or over the holidays when there was open houses. You can select to have a specific weekend in which people are booking that appointment with you, right? And so maybe you're just hosting it for that event that one weekend. And so those times frames will only show up for that date range. They're not able to book in 3 Saturdays when you're not holding the event anymore. So that's where your scheduling options for the date range can really come into hand. But we'll go ahead and leave it as 14 days in advance because we're going to create this like it's a reoccurring event. And then you're going to select your availability. Now, they made some updates to this, which we're super excited. So if you've been to our scheduler event before, you might notice these breaks are new. So what's neat is you can select the days you want. Maybe you're not going to do appointments on Tuesdays or Thursdays. If you just click on those dates when they're white and not blue anymore, that means you're not holding any appointments those days. They're not going to show up on your calendar. But maybe on Monday you're available from, let's say, like 9 to 11, and then again from 3 to 5. You can add in a break here from 11 a.m. to, we'll do 2 p.m. And now when we go to your scheduler, it's going to show that you have availability from 9 to 11 and then again from 2 to 5. So you no longer have to go before. If you were blocking out times in your calendar, like we've created videos from before, you don't have to do that anymore. You can do this right within scheduler. So it's really nice and exciting. And you can create multiple breaks, right? So maybe you wanted to do 9 to 10 a.m. You have something every day until like 12:30, but then you're available from 12:30 to 2. If I can click the right key, and you're off from 2 to 3, and then you're going to be back on. You get the gist. Hopefully it makes sense. So if you need to create some breaks within your day and have more pockets of time frame that you're available, you're able to do that super easily now. Okay. Otherwise, you can choose the whole time. You can edit these. Again, you can take them off. So this is where you're going to put your schedule for essentially a consistent weekly basis. Now, if you have something pop up on one Wednesday, that's when your calendar is going to come into play with blocking out that day as a whole, but still having future Wednesdays available. But this is really great for things that are like consistent time blocks that you want blocked out on a week-to-week basis. But if you just have a one-time pop-up on Monday or Wednesday or whenever, you want to use your calendar to create an event so it'll block out that time. Hopefully that makes sense. I see some comments in the chat, so keep posting your comments, and at the end, I'll answer them if you have any of those questions. Now, buffer time is nice, especially if you're doing a virtual appointment. It gives you a little cushion so that your appointments aren't back to back, right? So we do recommend creating a little bit of a buffer in those time frames. I like the little 15 minutes, so it won't schedule those appointments. It'll give you a little 15-minute buffer in between, right? So then it gives you a little leeway if your appointment goes over a little bit, gives you a little break, and you can create as much time as you need in between those appointments, right? 15, 30 minutes or an hour. You can also do minimum notice, right? So maybe you need like 2 days notice for these appointments because they're in person and you want to make sure that you're able to get there and get the information, right? Or maybe they're virtual and you feel like you just need like a good solid 12 hours notice on those appointments. So you can customize how much notice you need for them to be able to book with you. Also, the custom start increments is really cool. And this is great to actually be able to see. So if we click here on our appointments, we'll see that currently we've got one at 9, 9:30, 10. Because we created a 30-minute appointment, it's breaking it up in those time blocks. Now, if our time appointment was a little longer, let's say it was a 60-minute appointment, you'll notice these appointments now go for an hour, 9, 10, 11, etc. But maybe you wanted people to be able to book an hour appointment, but at like 9:30 or 9:15. That's not going to show up on here automatically. But if you come to scheduling and you click custom start increments, you can change this where then every 15 minutes it'll show an appointment. So now instead of 9 and 10, it'll show 9, 9:15, 9:30, etc. So it gives them a little bit more flexibility within that schedule for you to be able to create those appointment start increments. And you can do a daily limit. Maybe you can only do 2 appointments in a day, but you actually have 6 time blocks available. You can do it where once those 2 appointments are booked, it won't book anymore for you. Okay. I recommend on time zone, leaving it as the use invitees time zone. Probably maybe for most of yours, you're going to be in the same time zone, but it's good to leave that there instead of doing the lock time zone. So that's scheduling. Form fields is any information that you want to get from them. And these form fields can be great. We have it set up standard where it's going to get first, last name, email, and mobile phone. So those are kind of your standards. We only recommend adding 1 to 2 maybe additional questions on here, right? Not creating the whole form as like a pre-profile card because you want them to book the appointment, right? So you don't want to make the sign up form too long where they're like, oh, I don't have time for this now, I'll book it later, right? So instead, try to keep the booking for the scheduler sign up form nice and short. Again, add maybe 1 to 2. And then if you really want to get a pre-profile, we've got one created, and I'm going to show you how you can add that in as an automation for them to receive. Or like I showed earlier, we added that into the description, so you have the link there. But just so you're not losing them on the sign up part, we recommend kind of keeping this nice and short, maybe at the standard. Then on our form details, this is where you could customize it a little bit. So you can leave it as schedule if you want. You could change it to say book your time, right? Whatever you would like it to say. And then here you can customize the button. So we've got kind of a nice little pink purple color, or there's one that's kind of more white. So you can customize this landing page a little bit, and you can customize your thank you page. Okay, so again, this could be an area where you say thank you, and then say like, be sure to fill out your beauty profile. And you could have the link to that profile. Again, right there. So another area where you can add a little bit extra information, but still getting them to do the booking. With these ones, you want to make sure you click the save button afterwards. This page does not auto save, so be sure to click the save buttons when you've made any changes. It'll let you know you've made those. Um, Admin is if you maybe have somebody else that you want to get alerts when there's a booking. Maybe you're using this and your assistant, you want her to know so that she can kind of get things ready for those appointments. Or maybe you're doing these ones with another director, or maybe helping a red and you've got them booking the appointments. I don't know, different ones like that. You can add a contact who will also get the alerts when the appointment has been booked. And then also down here at the bottom, you can select to have them added to a contact list whenever they book an appointment. So maybe this is for like an open house, like we talked about before. You could have a contact list, right? Open house, booked an appointment. And then that way you can reach out to that whole list at once. So some nice little customizations you can do there. And then finally, we get to automations, which is where it gets really fun. We've got it automatically set up where you're going to have your general email booking, right? That's going to go out to them. So this is going to say, thank you so much for booking an appointment. And it's going to have all the details that are in that description along with the date and time of their booked appointment. And then you'll see right here, we've got the upcoming meeting reminder set for 1 hour. Now, these are automatically set to just have email replies. However, you can do create automation and you can have it send a text. We do recommend having a text template created already, so be sure to click that. And so we'll just pretend this one's one. You would select your text template, and then you can select if you wanted it to be delayed a little bit for whatever reason. And then you would just click Save Automation. And then it'll show up now. So now you've got a text template going out, and this is for automatically when someone signs up. You could also do create an automation for this with sending a text. this is where you could create that text message again. When it says like, thank you so much for booking, it can have that beauty profile link already created, already in there for them to be able to select. And this is a beauty profile that we created. This is in your VipeCloud account if you have emailing with us, that just kind of asks the questions that are on the Mary Kay Beauty profile. So you can do a little pre-profile of them before the appointment. And so again, if you come here to where you find this, you're again going to click on the automations. You click sign up forms, and then you'll look for one that's called beauty profile color. We also have beauty profile. This one is color appointments. This one is just skincare. So you could choose which one you wanted. You can click preview here on the right-hand side to see what it is and see kind of the different questions that are on there. And then if you want to grab the link, you just click the name, and right here you'll see landing page link. And so you can copy that. And that's what you would want to add into a text template or add into your description so that you could share that with those who have booked the appointment for them to fill out. Okay, once you're done with that, then you've got your text template. You can do the exact same thing with a reminder. Okay, so this is where we do create meeting automation. We want to do a send a text. And this is important because this is where you want to pay attention to your timing here. Okay, because we're going to do send a text. And then you're going to choose, do you want this to go before your meeting? How many hours or days? Maybe this is going out one day before as a reminder. Hey, I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. Be sure to fill out this beauty profile, right? If you haven't already. So having that one day before. The other cool thing is you can choose to have a message go out afterwards. So you could have an automated, thanks so much for meeting with me today. Maybe you have a link for them to fill out something afterwards or some information you want them to be sure to take away. Or maybe it's just a thank you message that you could send afterwards. And again, you want to make sure that you're customizing this by either so many hours after, is it a full day afterwards, etc. Okay. So if we were doing like one day before here, then you would just click Save Automation, and you'll see it show up right here. Okay. Once people have signed up, you'll see them in participants. So this is where you'll be able to see anybody who has signed up on that scheduler. You will also, though, get an email from VipeCloud, right, saying that a meeting was booked. It'll have their name, their info, those form fields essentially filled out there for you to be able to see. So that's kind of the gist. I do recommend when you create one first, be sure to check out your booking page, make sure everything looks good and accurate. And then also it's kind of nice when you create those automations to maybe even book an appointment yourself or ask a spouse or a friend or somebody to book an appointment, just to be able to see everything and make sure it's all flowing correctly and looking good. Just good to double check those things.
Make
So,
sure
all right.
things are blocked correctly. If you put something, maybe plop something in your Google Calendar and say, okay, it did block it, just to make sure.
Yes.
A lot of great information. It is a lot, but
It's a
we
lot.
promise you, if you just follow the steps on the video that she's already created, you'll be okay. But we're also, we're here to help too. So.
Yes. And we do have a training video right here. Like this one's a walkthrough. This one we did before they added out the block time. So like that information won't be on there, but you'll get the gist of everything within this, and we might redo it in the future. But for right now, it'll still get you to the point where you can create your own scheduler. It's got all the meat and potatoes, if you will, that you need in there. And then we do have this one on how to block out times. So maybe you are like a diehard paper planner girl, right? Like you just love your paper planner and don't want to put your whole life on a Google Calendar. This one will go over how you can still go. You would want to go in there and block out times sometimes. So how you can do that without maybe having to move everything over to a digital calendar. So even though they have those break times in there, this is still a great video to watch for when it comes to being able to make sure you're not double booking those appointments and that you've got your stuff in there correctly. So, all right, let's take a look at the chat because I saw that we had some questions
Answered
on
one
here.
and then I stopped because I didn't know the full answers and I know you would answer better.
Okay, perfectly. So Jerry, you said you're saying that if we typically have openings on Friday at 10, and we have something in that time frame and our calendar scheduler will know that the time is not available. Yes. The key here is that you want to make sure it's in the same calendar. So like, for example, we have a connected calendar here. There's a couple different options, right? So you want to make sure wherever you're adding, scheduler can only look at one calendar. So if you have a personal calendar and a family calendar and a Mary Kay calendar, right? And you're adding something to your personal, but this connected calendar was your Mary Kay one, then it's not going to block it out. So you want everything to kind of be on one calendar. Or you would do the block times. But yes, if it's in the calendar and it's listed as busy for your time frame, then it will not show up in there. So hopefully that answers that question. And then Christine says, so the 15-minute buffer you set before and after would give 30 minutes? No, it just does 15 minutes either before or after the appointment. It won't give you a 30-minute buffer. It just makes sure there's a 15-minute buffer. So even if on the scheduling you choose both 15 before and 15 after, it's just going to give you 15. It won't double up on those and give you 30. Good question. All right.
Very good.
Yeah, I see your response. You got it right, Shawn. If you're
Oh, boy.
scheduling a
Then I
Zoom,
stopped.
if you're scheduling a Zoom, does it still allow the description? Yes. You just want to make sure you put in the Zoom link in there because it will add it into the email confirmation info. And then when they book, it will book it for an hour. I'm not sure about that question, Jerry Lynn. They will book for an hour.
So like, what
Maybe.
are the time frames that they can book? 30 minutes? That was up above, I think.
Oh, okay. Maybe I
Time
missed it.
frame, how long the meetings are.
Yeah. So if you set the meeting for an hour, then
Where do
it's
you
going to
set
book for
that?
an hour. Even if they did even if you do the 15-minute start times, your appointment's still going to be an hour based on whatever you selected, an hour or
Show her
30.
where you selected, maybe just go back to that again.
Yeah. So on details right here, this is where you select how long the appointment is and the duration. So your appointment is actually going to be 60 minutes or 30, or if you do a custom appointment for however long the appointment is. Then when you go to scheduling here, if you do the custom start increments, this is just allowing them to maybe have more appointments available within the scheduler. So if you have an hour-long appointment, instead of it only giving a 9 a.m. or a 10 a.m., but they're available at 9:30, right? And it doesn't have that option. Now it would give the 9:30 option for them to be able to book that time instead of it only booking at the top of an hour. Is the beauty profile editable? Yes, it is. You'll notice when you come here, there's usually a display. I think this one we edited and that's why it's not connected. But normally it will say, click here to undo it. Let's see if I can find our original version. Like, for example, this one, it would look like this, where it says fields are locked until you unlink them. And if you click unlink, then you're able to edit the form fields. You can come in there and customize that yourself. Yay. Paula says she loves the automations and connections. So much better. Yay. Jerry, you can unmute now and you could explain your question.
No, you got it. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
Then
perfect.
if you book it at 9:30 though, then it'll book for the full hour and take
Yeah.
away the other 15-minute increments. That's all I wanted to know. Okay, perfect.
Yep. Yep. It'll book. So it'll block out from 9:30 to 10:30. And then that's where kind of the nice part too is if you had a 15-minute buffer and your appointment was from 9:30 to 10:30, it's now going to show your next time available at 10:45, right? Whereas if you only have it on the hour, then it might not show another one, right, until 11. So it just gives a little bit more flexibility. How much in advance do we get notification? You get the notification the minute they book the appointment. So your notification, Bridget, is immediate for when they book. You're just selecting on here, like, where was it? Minimum notice. You're selecting how much notice you need, right? So if you're okay with them booking an appointment same day, you leave it at 0. If you need a day or a couple days or 12 hours or whatever for how much, essentially your next available appointment, how far in advance do you want that to show up?
In in reference to what Jerry asked,
Mhm.
so normally, say her hours are normally on the hour,
Yeah.
but then she does want to do that 9:30 appointment. Where would that be in here? Would she have put that into the time?
She would do the custom start increments. So if she only wanted 30 minutes, like a 9 and a 9:30, it's still an hour-long appointment. But if she does 30-minute start increments, then when you go to your booking, you'll see a 9 and a 9:30 and a 10.
Gotcha.
It's still, when you click on it, it still says the appointment's 60 minutes,
Got it. Thank you.
but it just gives them more time frames to choose from. It's not changing the length of your appointment. Doing a Zoom every Sunday with different events happening in rooms. Would I have them choose the event glass skin colors in the linked survey? Yeah, Paula, that one I would say you could even just have within, if it's just something like that, within the form field,
You
right?
drop down.
Yeah, 1 to 2 is fine. So for that, you would essentially do create field for form and do a drop down and say, like which event, which room would you like to join? I don't know, something like that, right? And then you would put in here glass skin. Gotta move my Zoom boxes. Color, skin and glam. You get the gist. We'll add to those 3. Once you've added the ones you want, you click save. And now on your form field, it'll have it right here. And when you go to look at your booking page, they'll select the room right here. I would think that one you could have on your actual booking page, but you could also do it where it's in a beauty profile and they're selecting that, or it's something they select separately. But 1 to 2 questions is not like gonna break them booking the appointment. But if you put in this whole pre-profiling form onto your scheduler, that can be a bit much, where then it can delay them booking the appointment with you, which is just what we don't want them to do. All right. And I'm having my consultants guests fill out forms for me too. Would I maybe ask, who is your consultant? Yeah. Yeah. You could ask, who
You
is your
want to do it
consultant?
on here, or would you want to do it on the pre-profile? Or unless you don't do a pre-profile, then I guess you might want to do it here.
I think if it's just those 2 questions, I would think that would be fine on the scheduling, because they're quick and easy and they probably already know. Like, which one would you like to join? Oh, I want to do glass skin. Who's your consultant? Especially with the who's your consultant. If you're only working with some power players, I would do it as a drop down where they're selecting their consultant's name. If you're doing it with your whole unit, then you might do a text box. Who is your beauty consultant? Save. But I wouldn't do more than 2. So if it's just those 2, Paula, I would say you could add them in here unless you have more questions that you're wanting from them. And then I would put these on like a beauty profile or a separate sign up and just have them fill in everything at once. But if it's just these 2 questions you're looking for, I think that would be okay to put on here on there, because then it's just, the form is just this long. So hopefully that answers that. How do we relink, or do you need to? Christine, I think I need some more information. I'm not sure what
Okay,
we're
when
talking.
you had that beauty profile that you unlinked
Mm-hmm.
and changed it, do you need to?
Yes,
Does it just
you don't
work?
need to. Yeah. Basically, the benefit of maybe keeping it linked would be that, like, if there's updates, like a big update, we would go in and
Linked to
update it.
our parent one. So like when we make updates, it does it for you automatically. But if you unlink it and we make updates, then you won't get the updates.
Yeah.
Can you relink it? No.
No.
Okay. Every time
No.
I get that message of, do you want to unlink? I'm like, do what? So
Do you
now that I
like
know that what that does, that's good.
Yeah, I would think with the beauty profile, you unlinking it from ours is going to be fine because I really don't see that many updates coming to a beauty
Right.
profile card, right? They've kind of been pretty consistent over the years. So I think you're okay with that one.
Okay. I had another question that
Yeah.
would take forever to type. So just so I understand this whole thing, I use Calendly right now,
Mhm.
and in there, similar to this, you can, I guess what I'm understanding, this pink pop-up that you just scheduled, that could be for a specific event or a
Yeah.
specific type of event. So like
Mhm.
in Calendly, I have kind of like what you were talking in when you did that change. I have like a
In
beauty experience,
here,
I have a career chat, I have
yeah,
different. So this one that you just scheduled would be similar to that one that I just scheduled
yes.
Yeah.
or that I have set up.
And the nice part is you can have multiple. So you'll see we've got like three
Okay,
different ones here
perfect.
With
right
no
now.
extra fee. Because
Yeah.
Calendly, you have to pay. And the other thing that I didn't
Exactly.
put in there, you have to pay for that. So if you have email, it's included. I say if you don't have email, but you're paying for Calendly, I would get our email and do that. And the reason is because there's so much more. Like I listed all those
Right.
things, pink perks, my pink card, all that stuff. But here's the clincher to me anyhow, is if you have Calendly, they'll send a confirmation email and they'll send a text, but it comes from one of those 5-digit numbers. And so if they reply, it goes to no man's land. And
Right.
so you don't have that communication. So here you do. For me, I think that is like a deal breaker. So anyway,
Totally. And this is so much easier, or look, it looks easier.
we're told
And I have
we say
someone
it
that I
too,
can
but
call
people
and
say it.
ask, or I can email you and say, what is this? Where they
Yes.
really don't. I mean,
You got a
Yeah.
person. You got a person. I love having a person.
absolutely. Me too.
Yeah.
So Calendly is going bye-bye.
Yay. All right. So I'm glad we figured that out then about relinking it. And then Vanessa said on the pink perks or other forms, can you create a QR code to share and link to those specific forms? Absolutely. So on the sign
Love
up
QR
form,
codes.
yeah, on the sign up form, when you open it, actually, you'll notice over here it says generate QR code. So if you just click that, it will actually create the QR code and you can download it. And then when you scan this, it'll take them right to that sign up form. So you can absolutely download those. With pink perks,
Can
you
I
can.
say this? What
Mhm.
can I ask this question? Because I just feel like this might be a question. Let's say she downloads it, but then forgets about it. How would she go back and is it only here if you click on the page? That's where you'll always find it, or is it under QR codes?
I It's a good question.
Always
I
right
would
there.
probably come here if I
I
wanted
would
to
too.
re-find it and download it. That would probably be the easiest way. However, within VipeCloud, and we're talking about this next Thursday in more depth. So be sure to save the date for next Thursday. I don't know what the exact date is. I think it's February like
Day.
27th.
Whatever next Thursday is,
Whatever
yeah.
next Thursday is, but at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be talking specifically about QR codes. But if you come to content and go to QR codes, you can add QR codes into here. And that's how I would do the pink perks one, is you would come here, click create a QR code. If you're wanting them to go to that URL, and you would go to custom URL and put in your pink perks link in there. And we'll talk about that a little bit in more detail next week. But a little kind of preview for that. All right. And then,
So I
oh,
wouldn't need to go to Bitly and create my own QR code. And these will save forever. They never go away.
they don't go away. And there's a lot of exciting features about them. Like we could hop into there and talk about them because there's a lot you could do.
I'll come back.
But actually, maybe, Shawn, I'm kind of done. I don't see any more questions. So maybe if you want to share your screen again, we actually have a QR code and you could kind of see a little preview of our QR codes and what it can do.
Okay.
If I can stop my share.
Okay. So here is a cool thing. Let me see.
Yeah, these
Okay,
are
yeah.
just some like pro tips that we have for ways where you can use your scheduler because some people are like, where am I going to use this? Right. So you could add your booking link to your email signature. So again, you could have a calendar that just says meetings with Shawn, meetings with Christine, meetings with Bridget, right? Like your name, your calendar link, and then they're booking appointments with you, kind of a general one. So you could add it to your email signature. You can create a QR code. We talked about that. You could put it in your social media bio, right? Book a facial with me with your link to your booking appointment. You could use it to text after events or parties or different things like that. Book your second appointment with me. Click here to grab your second appointment spot. And you can add it to suites if you have your suites add-on with us. So just some ideas for where you could maybe be using a booking link other than using it to like book that initial appointment. There's a lot of other areas and where you could use it as well. And again, open houses
LMS.
are great. Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead, Shawn.
No, I was just gonna say, yep, LMS, the pink card. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Here's my simple question. All right.
go.
So that's like, it's floating out there in cyberspace. So where do we see it? Does it pop up on our phone? Does it pop up in the email? Like, where do these QR codes go?
What do you
Like,
mean?
well, will this, okay, the QR code in our, so we have the booking thing, okay, or the contact. Will a message come back to us on our phone or via email or on VipeCloud of,
When somebody scans it, basically what a QR code is, it's a picture embedded with your phone number slash form link.
okay,
So when somebody scans it, like for LMS, when they scan it and text that beauty, that keyword beauty, that comes as a text.
So for that one, you're not going to get a notification, Bridget, that somebody scanned it, but you will see the replies and you can go in and see who that series is going out to. For other things, you might know they scanned it because it took them to like your booking link and they book an appointment with you. And then you're going to get an email from VipeCloud. So you don't get a notification every time somebody scans a QR code, but you are able to see the effects of that QR code afterwards via like sometimes they scan and send like a keyword in there like beauty and they're added to a contact list. You can go to that contact list and see everybody who scanned the QR code and receive the messages afterwards. Or you'll see who booked a link, booked an
We'll
appointment,
also
or
see on
who
your text, if somebody texts beauty, you're gonna see it
you're
as a
going to see that.
notification.
that's the question. So even like if we have a QR code and we're going to use that card and we have a QR code, like to get somebody's information, then it'll wind up being on our phone, like her contact. So if I'm out and about and I just meet you, Brittany, okay, and I have a QR code, that would mean that on my QR code, I would have my info, right?
So, yeah, I think we'll get into this more next week, a little bit more in depth, but
Okay, okay,
essentially for something like that, they would scan the QR code and it would pull on their phone. It would open up your phone number in a text message thread and it'll put in a word in there. So, like maybe if we go to the next slide, Shawn,
So here's an example.
you'll
okay,
see
we
an
can wait till
example.
next week. Okay, that's all
So
right.
here's an example. You do not have to text the word book because
Yeah.
we set it up. So if you just scan this, you guys, and you'll get, this is just is also giving you more information, but you're going to see it in action. Scan this QR code and you'll see my number pop in
Right,
and you'll see, so take your phone and do it right now. And then the word book, you don't even have to type it in. This is something kind of newer that not everyone is aware of. But literally, you just scan it. You don't even have to type the word book.
right. But
Did you
now I
see how
want to
that
get
did it?
your information. That'll be next week. So for example, I just warm chatted Brittany. I don't know her name. I have no information about her. How do I get her info?
What you would have to have something set up. Something has to be connected to the QR code. So it can't just be a QR code and your phone number. So that's where that keyword for you, LMS, the word beauty. So if you're out and about having text the word beauty, we have it set up for you. We've done it for you. What's called name capture. Whoop, leave me your first and last name. So now you have their name and you have their phone number because the QR code is gathering that for you, and they're typing in their name.
Gotcha.
And it goes into VipeCloud. That's the beauty of LMS and using a keyword. And we have name capture available. They made that available to us that we requested also. So they're good to us. So
Yeah.
I tell people, if you can dream it, we probably either already have it and you just aren't aware of it, or we will make it happen if it makes sense, or we will talk. But I'm just saying, if you can dream it, we probably have it or will have it. So.
But we will be going into that more. So be sure to hop on the
Did you guys see
workshop.
how when you scanned it though, and it typed in
Yes.
the number and the word book, and you just send it, and that's it. That's all you have to do. That's how easy we want it for you with your warm chats, with your vendor events. We want it simple like that. And that's the cool thing. LMS is not quite that way just because you can use it for so many reasons. So we only have one QR code, but you can do it. It's just we don't have it set up that way.
I don't have
Okay.
LMS would just work for me. Christine, you can absolutely use QR codes without LMS. You could do the
Oh,
name capture. It's just a feature that we use with LMS. But yeah. Yeah, this comes if you have texting or emailing with us. Texting in order for the text message name capture to work.
It's best to have both, but my goodness, you get so much with it. It's so
Yeah.
much. And we do all your texting and emailing for you on top of that, included in the price. So, and you have a person. You got me, you got Brittany, you got Ann, you got, like you got people to talk to. So if you do have a question, yeah. Yep, we will be here next Thursday, 1 o'clock, same place. A different link, though. I'll give you a different link. So I shouldn't say same place, but same idea. And I'll send reminders too. So are there any other questions or anything?
I do have a question, Sean. So, for the I'm sorry, is it the LMS? Is it the card? Same thing? Is that the same thing?
Different.
My pink card. No, those are two different
Oh,
things.
are they? Okay. So the My Pink card, I saw that you did an event already. Is there a way to get the replay on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I posted it in the chat, but I'm not sure if you saw it. I'll do it again for you,
Okay.
Thank
Vanessa.
you.
If you can snag that link,
Right here.
then
Okay.
it gives you some information and has the webinar recording right within there.
Okay. Perfect.
If you can't grab it, let us know and I'll text it to you afterwards.
Okay, we got it. Got it.
Yay.
Thank
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yep. Yay. Okay. Any other questions or anything? Hi, Jermaine. I just saw you. I didn't realize you were, I didn't see the names. I need to talk to you afterwards, so stay on for a minute. If you can.
Perfect.
Hey, yeah, I just was trying to get on at one, but it didn't work for me. So I just popped in to get a 5 minutes of whatever it is you had.
That's good. Okay. Well, thank you. If there's no other questions, you guys have a great week and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.